Hi guys, Jesse here. I hope you're all doing well and ready for a nostalgic journey. Today we're taking a trip down memory lane to revisit a console that was truly ahead of its time. The PlayStation Vita. Remember that bad boy? It was Sony's ambitious attempt to revolutionize handheld gaming. This sleek little handheld was like the love child of a smartphone and a gaming console, and it was packed with more features than you could shake a DualShock at. From its stunning OLED screen to its dual analog sticks, it was a marvel of engineering. Sadly, it didn't quite reach the dizzying heights of its older brother, the PSP. Despite its innovative design and powerful hardware, it struggled to find its place in the market. But fear not, Vita fans. The PlayStation Vita has a dedicated community that still cherishes it to this day. Today, we're celebrating this misunderstood masterpiece with 10 fun facts you probably didn't know about the PlayStation Vita. From its hidden features to its unique games, there's so much to explore. So buckle up, grab your Vita, if you still have one, and let's dive in. Whether you're a longtime fan or just curious about this iconic device, there's something here for everyone. Let's get started on this exciting journey through the world of PlayStation Vita. Alright, first up, let's address the elephant in the room. Or should I say, the almost elephant in our pockets. The PlayStation Vita, Sony's ambitious handheld console, was almost given a name that would have been quite a mouthful. Did you know that the PlayStation Vita was close to being called the PlayStation Portable 2? Yes, you heard that right. The successor to the beloved PSP was nearly branded with a name that would have been a bit of a tongue twister. Can you imagine that? Trying to fit PlayStation Portable 2 on a box? It's a mouthful, right? Just picture it. A sleek, modern console with a name that sounds like a sequel to a movie. It's like they were trying to give the poor thing an inferiority complex right out of the gate. Imagine the confusion and the jokes that would have followed. Thankfully, cooler heads prevailed, and they went with the much sleeker, sexier Vita. A name that rolls off the tongue and carries a sense of vitality and life, means life in Latin, you know, a fitting name for a device meant to bring games to life in the palm of your hand. But hey, maybe that's why the poor Vita didn't live up to its full potential. Despite its powerful hardware and innovative features, it struggled to find its place in the market. It was cursed from the start with that clunky, almost name. Imagine if it had been saddled with the PlayStation Portable 2 moniker. Would it have fared any better, or would it have been weighed down even more? Let's pour one out for all the Vitas that could have been PlayStation Portable 2s. Those alternate realities where the Vita carried a different name and perhaps a different fate. You dodged a bullet there, little buddy. In the end, the Vita's legacy is a complex one, filled with what-ifs and could-have-beens. But one thing's for sure, it will always be remembered as the handheld that dared to dream big, even if it didn't quite reach the stars. And let's not forget the amazing games it brought us, titles like Uncharted, Golden Abyss, Persona 4 Golden, and Gravity Rush. These games showcased the Vita's potential and gave us unforgettable experiences. The Vita also had a range of accessories that enhanced the gaming experience. From memory cards to protective cases, it was clear that Sony had big plans for this little device. The community around the Vita was passionate and dedicated. Fans created forums, shared tips and tricks, and kept the spirit of the Vita alive long after its official support ended. And let's not forget the homebrew scene. Enthusiasts found ways to unlock the Vita's full potential, creating custom firmware and new applications that extended its life far beyond what Sony had envisioned. Today, the Vita holds a special place in the hearts of collectors and gamers alike. It's a reminder of a time when handheld gaming was pushing boundaries and exploring new frontiers. So, here's to the PlayStation Vita, a console that may not have achieved commercial success, but certainly left a lasting impact on the world of gaming. Long live the Vita. Next up on our Vita adventure, let's talk about the rear touchpad. You know, that thing on the back of the console that you totally forgot existed? Yeah, that one. It's like the appendix of the Vita. No one really knows what it does, but it's there, lurking in the shadows. I swear I spent more time accidentally brushing my fingers against that thing and messing up my game than actually using it intentionally. And when I did try to use it, forget about it. It was like trying to play a first-person shooter with a banana. The rear touchpad was supposed to be this innovative feature that would revolutionize handheld gaming. But in reality, it was more of a nuisance than anything else. Remember all those promotional videos and ads that showed off the rear touchpad? They made it look so cool and useful. But when you actually got your hands on it, it was a different story. Most games didn't even utilize it properly. And the ones that did, well, let's just say they didn't exactly enhance the gaming experience. I remember trying to play Little Deviants and Uncharted Golden Abyss with the rear touchpad controls. It was a nightmare. The controls were so finicky and unresponsive. And don't even get me started on the accidental touches. One wrong move, and you'd find yourself jumping off a cliff or missing a crucial shot. It got to the point where I had to consciously avoid touching the rear touchpad altogether. It was more of a hindrance than a help. But hey, at least it gave us something to complain about, right? It became a running joke among Vita owners. Oh, the rear touchpad? Yeah, that's just there for decoration. In the end, the rear touchpad was one of those features that sounded great on paper but didn't quite pan out in practice. It was a missed opportunity, a what could have been. Despite its flaws, the Vita still holds a special place in the hearts of many gamers. It had its quirks, but it also had some amazing games and features. So here's to the Vita and its useless butt. It may not have been perfect, but it gave us some unforgettable memories and plenty of laughs along the way. And who knows, maybe one day, we'll look back on the rear touchpad with a sense of fondness and nostalgia. After all, it's all part of the Vita's unique charm. Until then, we'll keep joking about it and remembering the good times. Because at the end of the day, that's what gaming is all about, having fun and making memories. Okay, this next one is actually pretty cool. The Vita could connect to your PS4 and act as a second screen because, one giant TV screen isn't enough these days. But seriously, this was a pretty sweet feature. You could stream games from your PS4 to your Vita and play them remotely. Of course, the streaming quality wasn't always the best and there was always a bit of lag. But hey, at least you could play Bloodborne on the toilet, right? That's gotta count for something. Alright, let's talk buttons. The Vita had a lot of them, like a lot. 2 analog sticks, a D-pad, face buttons, shoulder buttons, a touchscreen, a rear touchpad. It was like Sony threw every button they could find at it and said, there, happy now. And you know what? It was almost too much. I remember trying to play certain games and feeling like I needed an extra pair of hands just to keep up. But hey, at least you could never complain about not having enough buttons, right? Next up, a bit of tech trivia for you. The Vita was the first handheld console to have an OLED screen. Fancy, right? And it did look gorgeous. The colors were vibrant, the blacks were deep, and the viewing angles were great. But did it make you a better gamer? Probably not. But hey, at least you could impress your friends with your fancy, expensive screen, right? Remember the good old days of the original PlayStation? Back when polygons were cutting edge and CD cases were the size of dinner plates? Well, the Vita let you relive those glory days with its PS1 game compatibility. That's right, you could play all your favorite classic games on the go. Of course, the graphics were a bit dated and the controls were a bit clunky. But hey, it was a great way to experience those classic games in a whole new way. You know what's more satisfying than beating a game? Beating a game and getting a shiny platinum trophy for your troubles? And yes, the Vita had a trophy system just like the PS3 and PS4, because, who doesn't love a little virtual bragging rights? I spent countless hours trying to 100% games and get all the trophies. Was it a good use of my time? Probably not. But hey, at least I had those trophies to show for it. It's hard to believe it's been over 4 years since Sony officially discontinued the Vita. RIP, you beautiful misunderstood gadget. You were too good for this world, Vita, too pure, too powerful. The world just wasn't ready for your innovative design and impressive capabilities, but hey, at least you lived a good life, right? Remember when every gadget needed a camera? Well, the Vita jumped on that bandwagon too, with both a front and rear camera. But let's be honest, no one was using their Vita to take selfies, or landscape photos, or, well, any photos really. But hey, at least it was there if you needed it, right? So the Vita may have been a commercial failure, but you know what? It's still got a special place in the hearts of many gamers. It's like the Firefly of gaming consoles. Gone too soon, but still loved by a dedicated cult following. And hey, who knows? Maybe one day Sony will surprise us all and release a new and improved Vita. A Vita 2, if you will. A gamer can dream, can't he? So there you have it, folks. 10 fun facts about the PlayStation Vita that you probably didn't know. It may not have been the most successful console, but it was definitely a unique and memorable one. What are your favorite memories of the Vita? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more awesome gaming content. Until next time, keep on gaming.